The UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, or UNDRIP, is frequently seen as the benchmark for governments to address the wrongs of colonialism. But during a parliamentary committee, Arnie Bellis of the Indigenous Research Network says UNDRIP is a roadblock to development.
The UNDRIP situation is already starting to cost investors a bit, and we need to concern ourselves with that if we want to make ourselves a viable group to invest in.
The Research Network, who lobbies for Indigenous interests in the resource sector, spoke to investors' concerns.
C15 is one more thing that adds to risk because it isn't clear what consent requires. Is it a BCR? Is it a referendum? Who is a representative institution? Is it hereditary chiefs? Is it band council? Is it any member of a nation? All these things just make it riskier for capital. And so we did hear that, it's very difficult to invest on Indigenous territory because it's very risky.
Other criticisms of C15 state it could have a negative effect on Indigenous sovereignty. But a recent open letter signed by 37 First Nations and over 100 human rights supporters says the law needs to be adopted pronto. Grand Chief of the Grand Council of the Crees, Abel Bozum, is one of the signatories. He says Canada needs to stop stalling.
It's time to be fearless and go beyond what we are accustomed to. There are other Indigenous people around the world who are watching and hoping, anticipating to see that Canada would set a standard for the world.
APTN's Todd Lamoran spoke with Justice Minister David Lametti last month on what the holdup is. Lametti blames the Conservative Party.
Honestly, we need to call out Aaron O'Toole and we need to call out the Conservative Party because their delay tactics are becoming unbearable. We're losing time on a lot of good pieces of legislation. And as I said, we've already spent more time on this than we would have on a budget, and we're just hearing the same arguments over and over again.
Lametti's office told APTN they're not interested in an election and want to get C15 moving through the parliamentary process and onto royal assent. How many people even want to make it happen remains to be seen. Jamie Pashagumskam, APTN National News, Ottawa.